Hello to everyone in Dahl. I'm here to do your next maths video. We are moving on to worksheet 19 today in your workbooks, worksheet 19, okay? And it is the last worksheet that does subtraction with renaming, okay? We have done a super good job at subtracting with renaming. I've been so impressed, really, really well done. It's been fantastic to see and I've been really, really impressed. We are mastering that technique, okay? And because we are mastering it, we can definitely tackle this last section, okay? Last little bit of subtracting with renaming, and then we are done with subtracting and renaming and we can move on to the next one, okay? So before we start, I just wanted to remind you of our rules, okay? So the first one, always start with the ones on the right. If your question looks like this in your books, remember to put this number here and this number here, okay? So this number goes first because you are subtracting this from this, okay? Super. If the number on the bottom is bigger, always borrow from the top, okay? Always borrow from the top. So if this number on the bottom is bigger than this one, you go to your next column and you borrow from the top, okay? New rule for today, always draw your columns to help you guys, okay? Because it will massively help. If you draw your columns in your books next to the questions, it makes it a lot easier for you, okay? So remember that, always draw your columns. Right. I've got on my board a question that was in your workbooks yesterday, okay? And I know that some of you will have found this tricky because it is slightly different to the ones we were doing. And you know what Maths No Problem is like? They threw it in at the end as a little bit of a challenge, but the work that you'll do today is going to massively help with questions like this, okay? So don't be worried if you couldn't quite get this one because I'm going to work through it now, okay? So please remember that if you're struggling, watch the other two videos back, watch this one again, okay? The best thing to do with this one, pause the video and write down this question for me. So pause the video now. Okay, and if you pause that video, you should have this question written down for you on a piece of paper in your books, wherever is easiest, okay? So let's have a look at this question. So, 7 take away 9. The number on the bottom is bigger than the number on the top. So I need to do some borrowing. I need to borrow from the top in the next column, okay? Let's go. Ooh, 0. Oh, I can't borrow from 0. That's a bit of a pain. What am I going to do? I can't borrow from 0 because there's nothing there to borrow. I've got nothing in this part of my tens column, so I can't borrow from there. Okay, well, I'm going to have to try the next column then because my number on the bottom is bigger. I've gone to my next column to borrow, which is in my tens, and there's nothing there for me to borrow, so I'm going to have to borrow from this column, the hundreds column. Okay, so do my crossing out as normal. So I've crossed this out. I'm taking 100 away from this, so that will become 8. Okay, all good so far. So I've borrowed 10 tens from this column in the hundreds column, because remember 100 is the same as 10 tens. 100 is the same as 10 tens. So if I've borrowed from there, that means that I've now got 10 tens in this column. Okay, so I've taken 10 tens. Brilliant, super. Now I can do some borrowing because I know that my number on the bottom is bigger, so I need to do some borrowing. So I had 10 tens, but I need to borrow one of these for this column here. Okay, so if I cross this out again, that means I'm left with 9. Okay, I'm left with 9. So I've taken 1 10 from this column to move to here. So if I cross out my 7, if I've taken 1 10 and I'm adding it to my 7, that means I'm going to have 17. Okay, and that makes things nice and easy because I can do 17 take away 9. And remember that trick, if you're not sure, count up from 9 to 17. So you go 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. 17, okay? Gives me 8. 8. So I know that 8 would go in my ones column. Super, okay? Now I can look at this column in my tens. I had no tens. I borrowed 10 tens. Then I had to borrow for this column, so I only had 9. 9 take away 1 is 8. And then 8 take away 8 leaves me with 0. Awesome, brilliant, super duper. So follow this through on your boards, okay? Pause the video now and make sure you understand all of these steps and see if you get this answer, okay? Work it through. And then after you pause the video, we will do another question that's going to help with worksheet 19. So pause the video now. Okie doke, so if you've pressed play again, we're going to do another question that's going to help with the work in your books, okay, with worksheet 19. Okay, so we've had a look at what we do if there is a 0 in the column that we want to borrow from. So the questions on worksheet 19 will look a little bit like this. Make sure I get the right numbers. Okay, super, right, got my ones column, my tens column and my hundreds. I'm going to go to my ones because I have to start with my ones. 5, 0. 0 take away 5. Well, I can't do that because if I have nothing, I can't take anything away from that. The number on the bottom is bigger, so I need to borrow from the top. Okay. Ooh, that pesky 0 again. Dear. I can't borrow from that because there's another 0. Well, that's a bit confusing, isn't it? So I'm going to have to go to my hundreds column, okay? And if I'm borrowing from my hundreds column, I'm taking 100, okay? 100, which is the same as 10 tens, remember, because 10 tens make up 100. So if I've borrowed 10 tens, that means now in this column, I have 10 tens, okay? I've got 10 tens to play with. But I've still got to borrow for this column, okay? Because the number on the bottom is bigger, so I've got to borrow from the top. So if I'm borrowing 1 10, I had 10 tens because I borrowed from my hundreds. Now I've only got 9 because I'm borrowing another one to put in here, okay? 10 ones take away 5. We can do that. And remember, if the police show up, you're going to say to them, officer, it's okay. We're taking away, which means we're making the numbers smaller, okay? And they will say, it's all good, don't worry, they are taking away. I repeat, they are taking away. There won't be any tens in the ones column. We are all good to go. And we are all good to go, okay? 10 take away 5, you're going to get 5. 5, okay? And we should all be able to do that one because we definitely all know our number bonds to 10, so really well done. 9, because we had 10 and we took 1 away for this column. 9 take away 2 is going to leave me with 7. Making sure it's in the right column. Okay, 9 take away 2 leaves you with 7. And then I've got 2 take away 1, which leaves me with 1. So your answer would be 175. Okay, super duper. Right, let's have a go at one together where you can pause the video and have a go at. Okay. Okay, if you had a question like this, 700 take away 225, okay, use those same methods that I've just showed you, Write this down and pause the video and have a go and see if you can answer this question, okay? Pause the video now. Okay, if you've pressed play again, that probably means you've had a really good go at this question and have hopefully got an answer. So let's have a look, shall we? My number on the bottom is bigger than the top, okay? I can't take 5 away from nothing. There's nothing for me to take away. I'm going to go to my next column, okay? I'm going to go to my next column. There's nothing for me to take away in that column either because there's a 0 and I can't take nothing away from 0, okay? There's nothing I can borrow there. So I'm going to have to go to my hundreds. Cross this out. If I'm crossing 100 out, I'm taking 100, which is the same as 10 tens. This becomes 6, okay, because 7 take away 1 is 6. I've now got 10 tens to use in this column now because I've borrowed 10 tens from 100, okay? If I've got 10 tens, I can now borrow something from this column, okay? So if I need to borrow something so that I can take 5 away, I'm going to borrow 1 10, so this would become 9. I'm going to cross out the 0 because I haven't got 0 anymore. I've got 10, okay? Always remember, guys, cross this number out because you're making a new number, okay? We've made 10, 0, there was nothing there, so we've crossed it out and we've made 10, okay? 10 take away 5, 5, 9 take away 2, 7, 6 take away 2, 4, okay? Hopefully that's the answer you got, okay? I'm sorry that some of my numbers are a little bit wonky. It's quite difficult to do this way and still look at the camera, but I hope this is the number that you've got. Feel free to watch this video as many times as you want to get that technique and get that method, okay? And hopefully worksheet 19 will be an absolute doddle for you and you'll just be able to do it, okay? But any problems, rewatch this video and remember we will talk about this when we get back to school, okay? So don't worry, just give it your best go like you have been doing. You're making me so, so proud to be your teacher. I love being your teacher, even from home, okay? And I can't wait to be back at school. So give it your best go, guys, and I'll see you really soon. Bye, guys.